You guys talking about two King Olds, and yes, Brandon Royval has just beaten Brandon Moreno via split decision. Um, yeah, honestly, good solid fight to be honest with you. Good solid fight. I don't know how one of the judges scored it 49-46 to Brandon Moreno though. I did score that 48-47 to Brandon Royval. I do think it did come down to the final round, and let's be real, it wasn't exactly the most exciting final round, but I think Brandon Royval definitely did enough to win it. He was definitely the more accurate guy, and he was landing he landed more shots in that final round. So you give that to Brandon Royval that last round. Anyway, starting from the top to bottom. So round one, I scored it 10-9 to Brandon Moreno. He was landing some big shots in that first round, to be fair, right on the chin of Brandon Royval. And Royval, especially really early on, he was leaving his chin so high up in the air and was walking onto shots of Brandon Moreno. Moreno was showing some good footwork, especially in those first two rounds. And then when he started to up the boxing a little bit and started to trade a bit more, that's where Brandon Moreno's problems came. But yeah, Moreno was moving well on the outside, and it was quite unpredictable with his first attacks and catching Royval on the chin quite a bit. So you'd give that first round to Brandon Moreno, 10-9. Round two, again, you give that one to Brandon Moreno, in my opinion. He was landing some big overhands. Like in that second round, that was, Moreno's peak in that second round of that fight. That was his peak in the fight. Some big shots landing. Royval just kept on walking onto them and just could not defend them at all in that second round. Moreno got a takedown at the end of the round as well, got a bit of control time. So, landing some big shots, got a bit of control time. And then, that's a Brandon Moreno round, that second round. Round three, that one went to Brandon Royval. I'm just reading my notes here. From what I put down. Moreno was doing well on the outside. He was landing some decent ones, unpredictable when going in at times. But Royval was landing some good leg kicks in that round. And let's be real, for the majority of that round, Brandon Royval was 100% dictating the pace in that third round. And from them to the rest of the fight, Brandon Royval was dictating the pace. He was landing some good leg kicks on the outside. And let's be real, Royval was definitely the more accurate out of the two. And, he was definitely a lot less wild as well, Brandon Royval. He was a lot better with his work. That's what you'd expect between these two. Moreno's a lot more wild than Royval is, and Royval kept his composure and was good with his work that he put in. So that third round goes to Brandon Royval. Round four goes to Brandon Royval. He was landing some he was landing some good straight shots. Brandon Royval trying to work that jab quite a bit. In that fourth round. And Brandon Moreno was just simply not active enough whatsoever in that fourth round. You even heard the corner say to Moreno, "Oh, yeah, you weren't active enough in that round. It's all coming down to the final round." And let's be real. Brandon Moreno just completely gave up that fourth round and just let that one slip completely for him. So, yeah, that was not good enough from Brandon Moreno in that fourth round. And then in that fifth round, it wasn't exactly great from either of them, though, to be fair. But Royval was dictating the pace, landing the better shots, landing some good straights. And it was this was when Moreno was actually walking onto a few, to be fair. I mean, Moreno was blocking quite a few shots, though, to be fair. But still, though, as the fight went later on, Moreno just simply wasn't active enough. So you can't really give any of the rounds to him. Let's be real, though. The majority of that fifth round was just them holding each other up against the cage. Fair play to Herb Dean for actually stepping in and just making sure that wouldn't happen and make sure we actually saw a fight. But yeah, Royval was definitely landing the better shots. Then in the end, they had a bit of an exchange, which I think Royval got the better of. So again, that's 10-9 to Royval. So I scored it 48-47 to Brandon Royval. I feel like we got the right winner there. I don't know how one of the judges gave it 49-46 to Moreno. There's no way you can score it like that, in my opinion. No way. I don't get that. I don't get that at all. Anyway, so we of course look at the flyweight rankings now. Brandon Moreno was of course the number one. Brandon Royval is now going to move up there. But let's be real though, Brandon Royval can't get the next title shot. Before this fight, he was coming off a loss to Pantoja. So I don't see how you can give Brandon Royval that title shot just yet. I still think he needs another win. I feel like Abalzi should get it against Pantoja. But Brandon Royval, what do you do with him? Do you put Royval up against like Manal Cap or something, or Nicola? Brandon Royval's in an interesting situation right now, to be fair. But again, like, we just want to see this whole flyweight title picture be mixed up more, to be fair. Like, Brandon Royval and Brandon Moreno are just getting a bit boring in this picture now. So, you know, give our Bowsy the shot. Hopefully Manal Cap can beat Brandon Royval. Brandon Moreno should slip down the rankings a bit. God knows what happens there. He's coming off 2 back-to-back defeats. Yeah, interesting situation. Interesting. I mean, for Brandon Moreno, do you put him up against like Perez? Do you put him up against like I don't know, like Moico? I don't know. I don't know what they would do with Brandon Moreno. With Royval, I feel like you put him up against Manal Cap or Nicolo. I don't know what's going to happen with Moreno. I feel like take some time out and then I don't know. But yeah, it's not looking great for Moreno. And I'm glad Moreno's not getting the next title shot, because let's be real, if Moreno won that fight, they were making that third fight with Pantoja. So luckily that Moreno did not win that fight. Thank God for that. But again, Royval, it's still a bit boring to see him in the picture. But you know, I still feel like he needs to get another win first, though, before he's able to get his other title shot. If we're being honest with you, like, you know, he does need another win. He 100% does need another bloody win, if we're being honest. But yeah, decent fight, close fight, to be fair. But I do think Royval's definitely I do think Royval clearly won those last 3 rounds. I do. I think Moreno definitely won the first 2, and I think Royval definitely won those last 3 fairly decisively. Those last 3, I think Royval won. Anyway, good nice video here. Thanks for watching this video. Okay, I'll speak to you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace out.